Hi, chemistry students. I am Professor Victoria Dubois, and I am the General Chemistry Laboratory Coordinator, and this is to help you understand how this laboratory is going to work for Gen Chem this remote instruction semester. So this is not the ideal way that we would want to teach you general chemistry laboratory, but this is where we are, and we are confident that we've put together a nice program for you to be able to not only experience some lab through simulations, but also through video, seeing actual laboratory, actual equipment and analyses and techniques, as well as being able to go into actually some more in-depth look, have a more in-depth look into how real chemists use equipment and techniques. So we're excited to roll this out, and we're going to get started. Your Blackboard, your laboratory Blackboard page will look something like this. On it, it will have this schedule. And as you notice in this schedule, we have the week starting. So this is just the Monday of the week of the semester, what experiment there is, and we do have a few weeks where there are no labs. And then this location, there are two different locations. One says HM, and this is a laboratory simulation software that we're going to be using, and then this Blackboard. So BB is Blackboard, and we are within the Blackboard site, and I'm going to show you what that means. The due date is on Sunday. We all have different days of the week for our laboratory, but all of the due dates are going to be due on Sunday. So if you have laboratory, say on Wednesday, your lab instructor will be available on Wednesday to help you with the lab, but you can start that anytime. So go ahead and you can start it, get your questions, and then ask your instructor, and then just be ready to be able to submit everything by Sunday. Okay, so I want to show you over here. So we have Blackboard lab modules. So where there's Blackboard, you will have a place that you can go in and see the lab modules. Right now we only have one available, and you would go in and continue. It's in a test. It's actually under like an exam, but within this you will be able to see some information, watch some videos, and answer questions, and make sure that you save and submit them when you're done. So that's one type of lab that we're doing. If I go back, we can see. So that's the Blackboard lab modules. And then we also have HM. So HM means Hayden McNeil. So Hayden McNeil is our lab simulation software. We have a website attached right to our Blackboard page. And you will have to create an account. And I want to show you a little brief video on how to register for the simulation package. So let's start this.
For the Hayden McNeil online chemistry labs. We're going to go to the link. It brings us here. We want to create a new account because we're new. So we're going to sign up. I'm going to use my email for the username.
I'm not sure if you can hear that very well, so I'm just going to talk it here. So use your email. I want you to use your Oniana email and use a username that is your actual name so that your instructor can see who has registered. And you're going to go back in here, type in your username and password that you've just created. So first you created the account, and now you're going to go in and log in. It is going to ask you to confirm your login, so you have to go back to your email account. And again, we want this to be your Oniana email. This example is just a Gmail email. So confirm your account, then you can go back in. And this is the important part where you can choose which course. So go in as a new user, and the institution, you're going to go down to the S's. It's under state, so State University of New York, College at Oniana. You'll see two different ones. If it's Chem 111, you're going to enroll. Chem 112, you're going to work with Professor Sobers on that. He might have you enroll directly from Blackboard. So then you need to, let me pause this. Can I pause it? Yeah. When you choose the Chem 111, you're going to have to choose your instructor. So your instructor's last name is important. So it'll be the course name / your instructor's last name. So make sure you choose that. And then it asks you for an enrollment key. Okay, so your enrollment key, again, just the last name of your instructor. So here he's chosen Vining, and then submit. You can pay through this. You can also pay through you can get an enrollment key through the bookstore, but you don't have to. You can just have a grace period. You can just enroll right now without paying. You have a grace period, and you can start looking around and actually starting your labs. So once you have done that, then you are in. We can see you, and you will be within this site here. So here's your Hayden McNeil. Right now, there are two things open, the introduction to lab simulations, and then the first lab that will be due. Here's your due date again. And that's a Sunday, your first lab that's due. So this is an introduction. It tells you, how that works. So please walk through this, read through this, play around in here, make sure you understand how things work before you go into the actual lab. So I'm going to go back to our list. So you can always go back. See, here's home, my courses. So this is our course. And then you can get back to this page. How these are going to be organized is there is a door here that you can go into the background. So they all have background. Most of these backgrounds have the 2 pages here. So you're going to be, read through this very carefully. Both pages. And for most of these, we will also have a video that shows you actual lab techniques. So the techniques that are being performed in this particular lab, we're showing you in a video. And what we want you to do is read the background, watch the video, and then answer the pre-lab questions before you actually attempt the lab. And I'm going to show you how to find those pre-lab questions in a moment. To get to the actual lab simulation, you're going to click on this. But one shortcoming, I think, of this this program here is that the procedures are on this page, and when you launch the simulation, you'll have another window. Or it might actually be in the same window. So it's hard to go back and forth. So you might want to open this on 2 different devices so that you can see the procedure while you are in the lab simulation. I'm not going to click on the lab simulation because you're going to be able to go through all of that. What I do want to show you are the 2 different things that you have to complete that will be graded. So back to this same master list here, we have the pre-lab questions and we have the lab report. So if I click on that, and they're both under they're like quizzes. They're called quizzes. And you notice here under lab report, you have a place to enter your data. Okay, so you're just going to go through and do whatever they ask you to. You can jump around to these quote-unquote questions, but you'll have places to enter data. You'll have some questions to answer. And sometimes you have to use information that is in the background to be able to answer these questions. So make sure you know that. And the other thing I want to point out is here's finish attempt. So here's the finish attempt at these, but you have to be careful because you can finish your attempt, you can submit all of your answers, but it still hasn't been fully submitted to your instructor. So you have to submit all and finish. Then we can see it and we can go in and grade it. So that is, in a nutshell, the simulations. More and more of these will become available as the semester continues. Okay, so back to the Blackboard, this one. under the schedule, you have a couple links here. Here's a link just to the website. Hayden McNeil also has a video on how to register. So if what we did today didn't help or you want some additional information, that's there. It's also in screenshots. So we have screenshot images and text to help you register. I also have a few things over here. Your instructor may or may not have these set up, but you may have a discussion board where you can ask questions. So you can just kind of go into this and create a thread and ask your question. So that's going to be dependent on your instructor if they have that set up. And then there should also be some link to how they are going to be able to communicate with you during your lab time. So I am using Blackboard Collaborate, and I have a link to Blackboard Collaborate right here so that we can join the session. Your instructor might use Zoom, they might use Teams, so they will have some information on that. How do I get out of this? Let's go back here. So they will have some, indication on how to get into a synchronous lab office hours, if you will, during your lab time. So work with your instructor to make sure that you understand how to contact them, and they will be able to help you through whatever questions you have. Again, I recommend trying the lab first, then going to the office hours and then being able to get your questions answered. But you can just open up your lab and do your lab right at the same time that your instructor is available. So that's an option as well. So I hope this video has helped you understand how the lab works, and we're really excited to have you. Sorry that we're not meeting in person, but as we work through this, we'll be able to get to meet you and get to know you in person. So we're really excited that you're here, and thank you so much for listening, and we'll do some fun chemistry remotely. Take care.